Hey guys, I know it's been a long time since I made a video. Actually, I think it was Christmas and it's August 11th. But actually I wasn't going to make a video, but I had a couple people asking how this project was going, and as of right now I don't really have anything very good to report on it. I did get the alternator in, made some little brackets for that, and I got the AC in. The plate that I made seems to work okay. I got the lines hooked up for the heater core, but that's no big deal. Got a makeshift intake, and like I said before, there's the hot pipe there. It wasn't a big deal. It pretty well hooked up with the boot from the Dodge, and the radiator side boot from the Duramax. There's my little radiator hose that I had to make. It is a little bit of a pain in the butt, but not too bad. I got to this point and got all the accessories hooked up, and I really wanted to try to start it to see if they were gonna, how things were gonna run. It looked like everything was in a pretty good line, pretty well lined up, but I wanted to start it, let it run before I started, running wires, cutting, and trying to clamp those down, and that's where I ran into the snag. I hooked my batteries up, and with the key not in the ignition, my park lights came on and my lights on my dash came on, and I knew at that point that I had a problem, and that's when I started trying to chase things. The truck won't even try to turn over. I don't know if it's the security system, or if there's something wrong with the computer, or I don't have a ground hooked up, but I spent about 2 months trying to chase everything that I knew and talk to everybody that I knew that I thought might know, and we can't come up with anything. I finally found a couple of guys that said, well, you're going to have to reflash your computer, and you'll have to find somebody with EFI Live to turn off a bunch of stuff that the computer is looking for. And I guess that all sounds good, but I really thought I would get, I thought I'd be able to turn this thing over and start it, and then just get, my service engine light. But like I said, I spent a couple of months every afternoon after work and couldn't come up with anything. And finally, I got just too busy. I didn't have time to mess with it. I got frustrated with it, and actually I pulled it back out to the country. We're not even at the house anymore. We're out in the middle of nowhere. So it's been sitting here since probably end of March, and I just pretty well said to heck with it. I thought, well, whenever I get enough time, I'm just going to pull this motor back out and pull the 85, the old square body, back to the house and drop it in there. It'd be a lot easier build. But this truck's my truck, and I hate to give up on it. The wife doesn't understand it, but I don't guess she has to. I really wanted to see this truck running again with this Cummins in it. So I'm going to take it to the house one more time, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the wiring harness, all of this garbage here that has to do with the common rail, the diesel computer. I'm going to trace it back, pull it out, see where it hooks into, see what's on the other end, and try to figure out some way to get. I don't know whether I have a ground or I have a lack of ground or what, but I don't know if any of y'all out there have run into this. If anybody can give me any pointers, man, I'd really appreciate it. I've even talked to a guy that pulls 6.0 Power Strokes out of as new as '08 Fords, and he's dropping 24 valves in place of them, and he says that's not really a big deal. And his final comment before we quit talking was, good luck with trying to figure that out. So I don't know if it's the way GM configures their wiring in this year model or newer year models or what, but I'm not going to play with it a lot longer. Like I said, I'm going to try to take it back to the house and figure out this rat nest here, and if I can't get something done, I guess we'll just have to pull it out of here and scrap the project and put it in a different truck that'll be a little bit easier. I should have probably done that in the first place, but like I said, this is my truck, and it had been down for about a year. Now it's been down for about 2.5 or 3 years, and I don't know, I ought to probably just let it go, but I can't. It's, you know, it's like putting your dog down. It's a part of me. It was there with my kids growing up. We took them and their friends, and I went to Nebraska and got my wife. I met her online, and we've been married 8 years now, and this truck went and got her all of her stuff and brought it to Texas. So a lot of good memories with this truck, but man, it's just starting to be more than it's worth, and it's really a lot of headache, and I really want to see something running with a Cummins in it. So hopefully in the next 2 or 3 days we'll be able to drag it back to the house and start going through the wiring. I know that's going to be tedious, but that's all I know to do. I've exhausted every help effort I could, and actually the only thing outside of finding something in this wiring that I know is trying to go back. It looks like the 99 to 06 wiring harness in these trucks is exactly the same for the diesel or the gas. I thought I might try to find a 99 or up to maybe 2002 computer and swap it out, put it in, but I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss. You know, I pretty well got all the physical stuff done, but this electrical and the way it's configured and all that's just really throwing me here. So I just thought I'd give you an update, and maybe we'll pull it back to the house and find a miracle and get it started in the next couple of weeks, but I'm not at this point feeling too hopeful about it. But anyhow, if I make another video, it'll either be running or I'll either have it pulled out and we'll be pulling it back to set in the pasture. So we'll talk to you next time.